September 14th, 2022. Halfcast 348, episode 348. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Public raises over $200,000 to pay off fine teenager was given for killing her suspected rapist. Off the top, somebody should be paying that young lady. They should not be handing her a bill. It's stress and compensatory damages. What are compensatory damages? Compensatory damages are money awarded to an injured party that compensate for damages, injury, or another incurred loss. Compensatory damages are awarded in civil court cases where loss has occurred as a result of the negligence or unlawful conduct of another party. Throw in the key to the city while you're at it. A GoFundMe set up to help a teenager who stabbed her alleged rapist to death in Iowa in 2020 has raised enough money to cover what she owes the estate of the man who she says victimized her. This reminds me of an article I caught back in July. Sarah Cruzan was a young lady, this girl's age, who was caught into sex trafficking, and the system was not there to offer her any alternatives. But when she decided to take her life back into her own hands and get her freedom away from that lifestyle, she ended up killing her pimp. The system was definitely there to roll out a laundry list of consequences. Piper Lewis, 17, was houseless in Des Moines in 2020 when her lawyers say she was given shelter by a man named Christopher Brown, who claimed to be her boyfriend but forced her to have sex with other men for money. That May, Miss Lewis said Mr. Brown left her at the apartment of an acquaintance named Zachary Brooks, who allegedly forced her to drink alcohol and use other intoxicating substances, and then repeatedly raped her. Later that month, Miss Lewis, he's a monster. Miss Lewis was allegedly forced to go back to Mr. Brooks' apartment and was drugged and raped again. After that experience, Miss Lewis said she took a knife and stabbed Mr. Brooks more than 30 times, killing him. Oh, let me be the first to tell you, I do not feel bad for that guy at all. Do you think this is the routine of people who've done this to only one girl, or 10 girls, or 100 girls, or the routine of people who would quite possibly still doing it today if they had the chance? Miss Lewis pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and willful injury last year. Earlier this week, she was sentenced to 5 years probation and a deferred judgment, meaning that she can have her record expunged if she meets the conditions of her sentence. However, due to an Iowa law related to homicide convictions, she must pay $150,000 in compensation to Mr. Brooks' estate. A portion, if not all of that money, should be given to a program to help victims of sex trafficking and also to prevent at-risk women from becoming victims of sex trafficking. That's where Leland Shipper, a former math teacher of Miss Lewis's at Des Moines Lincoln High School, stepped in. Mr. Shipper set up a GoFundMe page seeking to raise money to offset Miss Lewis's restitution costs. She shouldn't have to pay any money. Can you look the other way just this one time? Piper does not deserve to be financially burdened for the rest of her life because the state of Iowa wrote a law that fails to give judges any discretion as to how it is applied, Mr. Shipper wrote. Absolutely. This law doesn't make sense in many cases, but in this case, it's morally unjustifiable. A child who was raped under no circumstances should owe the rapist's family money. Somebody had to say it. A significant number of people clearly agreed. As of Wednesday afternoon, the GoFundMe has raised more than $216,000 for more than 5,000 donations, easily clearing the $150,000 mark and the page's $200,000 goal. After this, that law should definitely be put up for review to be amended. In an update, Mr. Shipper wrote that money raised in excess of the fees Miss Lewis owes Mr. Brooks' estate in the state of Iowa will be used to pay for a college education, set up a business, or explore opportunities to help other young survivors of trafficking and sexual violence. Damn it, I called it. The messages on the GoFundMe page are full of praise for Miss Lewis's resilience and hope for a future. I am so proud of you, Piper. Regan Hage wrote, "May the life ahead of you be filled with light, love, and abundant happiness. Thank you for being so brave and sharing your story." Miss Lewis said in court earlier this week that while she regretted killing Mr. Brooks, it would be absurd to believe that there was only one victim in the situation. The strength and resolve of this young lady to decide that no matter the circumstances, I am not going to let this be my story, and I'm not going to let this lifestyle be my future. No matter what the judge's decision is today, I will still prevail, Ms. Lewis said in a testimony reported by the New York Times. Nothing can stop a positive path of progress but negativity and doubt. She's spitting, man. During my journey, I have found part of the spiritual world and its beauty. I have progressed with the ability to lead with the power of many while maintaining self-worth. Next up, police arrest armed gunman and clown wig at Pennsylvania Dairy Queen who claimed he planned to restore Trump to President King. All that Trump sure does attract an especially unique crowd, doesn't he? Bless their hearts. Police on Saturday arrested a gunman at a Pennsylvania Dairy Queen dressed in a clown wig and claiming that he wanted to kill all Democrats and liberals and restore Trump to President King of the United States. Imagine being in a Dairy Queen and this idiot walks in and you just immediately know you're not going to get your Butterfinger Blizzard today. According to CBS Pittsburgh, police in Delmont responded to reports that the man, identified as 61-year-old Jan Stawovi, entered the restaurant dressed in a yellow safety vest and rainbow clown wig while carrying a gun. No one was harmed, and Stawovi immediately was taken into custody. Every king needs a jester, right? And with that move, he should have easily solidified his spot as the poster boy for this man's cult following. Stawovi allegedly told police he was working undercover with a rainbow clown wig and a yellow high-vis vest. Yeah, good work. And officials later found a .40 caliber handgun and ammunition on him, as well as 2 additional guns and ammo in his car, according to CBS. The Delmont Borough Police Department honored Officer Gregory Stahl for his quick response to the incident in a Facebook post on Wednesday. Stawovi is awaiting a preliminary arraignment on charges of terroristic threats, carrying without a license, person not to possess, use firearms, and disorderly conduct, CBS reported. Next up, thieves steal San Francisco Police Department's catalytic converters right in front of the station. All catalytic converters, the official currency of meth addicts everywhere and accepted in more places than Visa or MasterCard. Angry about your catalytic converter being stolen? San Francisco police can now relate. 4 marked police vehicles, 2 vans, and 2 trucks all had their catalytic converters stolen right in front of a law enforcement building early Monday morning. As Mission Local reports, authorities have yet to apprehend any suspects. It's actually genius because they can't sneak up on you. You can hear their cars from a mile away now. The incident highlights how brazen thieves of the emissions control device have gotten. Is it being brazen, or is it because the cop cars are the only ones left that haven't been picked clean? Catalytic converters contain precious metals. Off the top of my head, one of them is platinum, and they are relatively easy to remove from a vehicle with the right tools. Thefts of catalytic converters from hybrid cars and vehicles with high ride heights are especially common. Converters from hybrids typically contain more of the metals and high riding vehicles like vans and trucks don't need to be jacked up to access the valuable devices. You would think that as soon as law enforcement saw an uptick in catalytic converter thefts in all of these areas, that they would have immediately taken steps to safeguard against that. Oh no, we're the police. They won't steal from the police. You thought. The thefts took place near the corner of 16th Street and Daharo Street, where several police vehicles are typically parked by the Special Operations Bureau building at 17th and Daharo. That's where the region's SWAT team and bomb squad are housed. Jesus. Likewise, the San Francisco District Attorney's office is just a few hundred feet away. If the police had to respond to a call using one of these vehicles, any suspected criminals will hear them coming. Catalytic converters typically sit before a car's muffler, and removing one effectively bypasses the sound deadening device. Speaking to Mission Local, a higher up at the SFPD reportedly stated that the people who stole the catalytic converters really don't think too much of the police. You think? Another SFPD officer speaking to the California publication likewise stated that the perpetrators in this instance will probably get away with it. At least they're honest. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.